Creatures from the world of the undead.
The most bizarre.
Devil worship, Satanism, black magic, or witchcraft. Zodiac killer.
All lights go out and the monsters are released from their coffins.
Now, prepare yourself for the most gruesome and grotesque experience of them all. The Creep-O-Rama.
Yeah, and then
What?
they like
Werner Herzog is great content.
Yeah, but what I'm about to say, they like make a play out of killing a bunch of people or some shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a weird. It was a weird one. It was weird.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Not what I was expecting the fucking documentary to be.
I remember when
This
that trailer
episode started on a downer note.
Yeah.
I have a
Jeez.
vague memory of that trailer and being like, "Whoa, I gotta watch that," and then watching it and being like, "I don't want to watch this."
I don't know if that was. Yeah, I don't know if this is what I wanted. This isn't what I wanted.
Yeah, I thought it's what I wanted. It just got too real.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I guess that's a good juxtaposition because that's real killing, and it's like our killing has to involve 90s over the top explosions,
is the opposite of
fires,
too real.
and yeah.
It might be too.
What do you say we find some rockets? I want Nick Cage to do my killing. You know.
Absolutely. Nick Cage, please kill me.
Yeah, you're the rocket
What?
man.
Do you like Elton John?
It's crazy to me.
Well, it's you.
That Con Air is the one where he's the least fucking weird, but at the same time, it's also crazy to me that in Face Off, he's not the most unhinged one. Because I think that fucking Travolta's way more unhinged.
But that's John Travolta.
I mean, before they switch faces.
Right.
No.
Before they switch faces, Travolta is desperately trying to be normal human man.
Well, yeah, of course.
And it does not work.
But that's the thing. That's the fucking insanity that is Face Off.
Yeah.
It's not John Travolta being crazy. It's Nick Cage being crazy with John Travolta's face.
Right, but Travolta needs... But in order for that to work, Travolta has to start acting differently at some point in the movie.
But
what James is saying is he's crazy from the get-go.
Fucking insane.
He's just that movie.
Wait, who?
Travolta.
John Travolta?
I know that Nicolas Cage is also insane. Obviously,
I know that Nicolas Cage is John Travolta.
Hold on, he shot a child through a John Travolta, so obviously he's the bad guy.
Yeah, through a Travolta.
My first note was controversial statement. When your movie starts with child murder, you know it's going to be good.
Here's the thing, though.
I had the same note. I was like, dead kid, 9 seconds in. Let's go.
They don't bring it up though. That kid was
#90s.
That kid was actually an assassin, and fucking Nick Cage was doing him a favor. So who's the bad guy now?
Crazy.
Yeah.
That would explain why he didn't take the opportunity to fucking kill Sean Archer while he was laying wounded on the ground. Did you bring one bullet, Castor? Come on.
Single bullet.
You're smarter than this.
In your horrible mustache.
Yeah, I love that he has the mustache for that shot just to show this is from the past, I guess.
Yeah. 6 years ago.
This is his blunder
Back when
years
mustaches
footage.
were in 91.
God, I can't believe I used to wear this stupid fucking mustache to shoot people.
See, I'm not all in for all these prequels and remakes and reboots and stuff, but I want the prequel to Face Off. I want to see
why he has that fucking mustache.
I don't know what it would be called because this would be pre-changing faces. So it would.
That's what it would be called. Pre-changing faces.
Pre-changing faces.
Yeah. It would be warm-up.
Just be.
No, it's called
Face On.
Yeah, it's Face On.
Face On. Yeah, Face On.
And then it has to star Donald Faison.
Who's that? I don't know who it is.
I don't know, but that was a good joke.
It was a good joke. I just wish I knew who it was.
He's from Scrubs.
Yeah, it's the guy from Scrubs.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Which one?
Yeah, which guy?
the black guy.
I don't know.
Yeah, Turk. He's also included.
Oh, okay. See, that's why you had to say Turk.
I was trying to think of his actual name.
Yeah. No, all you had to do was say Turk because
Turk,
I don't.
I don't remember their names. I don't watch Scrubs. I just know who Donald Faison is.
I just know fictional characters.
Yeah. Fictional characters. That was a big guilty pleasure of mine, that show. Like one that I wouldn't share with friends that I watched. Because
you knew it was all, you also knew it was bad. No.
Right. Yeah. But I want to know the backstory because I mean, dude, when you start your movie and you introduce these two characters where one of them kills the kid of the guy that he's at war against, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah, here's a question.
What came before this?
Oh, hold on. Here's another important question. How long has taken place since?
Said 6 years.
It said 6 years?
Yeah.
So
6 or 7.
So,
6 years.
Yeah,
6 years, 91 to 97.
Why was fucking Castor Troy already like, I'm gonna fucking shoot him and his kid? I know that he didn't mean to shoot the kid, but like,
no, I think he meant to shoot the kid.
And also, 6 years, that's all it took for you to get rid of that mustache?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, they kind of got like
it feels like it should have been further back
going on. Where, you know, he's a terrorist, he's an FBI agent, and he's been hunting him down, I'm sure, for years, and he's like, I'm going to kill him. But this movie moves so fast,
so fucking fast.
They crunch so much shit, significant shit, into like seconds.
all three of these have some of the quickest,
because it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes long still.
All three of these movies have some of the quickest and most efficient opening setup scenes ever. It's just boom, under a minute, you know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, the 90s did not fuck around.
No.
Because they were like, we need a car chase and at least like 3 murders in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
everybody's
here's who these characters
the
are. Please give a fuck about them. Now they're in peril.
Please. Know that this one loves somebody and that they're going to die.
Yeah.
And what better way than to be like, his kid got murdered. Now you're rooting for this guy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Done. That's it. You don't need
the guy who murdered the kid probably shouldn't be rooting for him.
Yeah.
Now we've shown you who the villain is.
Especially for Face Off, it's very
seconds.
important because kind of, I mean, like, I know that once you're watching Nick Cage, you're like, all right, he's clearly the bad guy. But once they trade faces, you're kind of like, because it's the acting starts to get a little weird.
Right.
Yeah.
So you kind of be like, wait a minute. I actually wrote down whenever I started watching it, I was like, all right, Nick Cage bad, John Travolta good, so I could keep track of it. Because previously, when I tried to watch this, I could be like one of those, like, I watched every fucking second of it. But like, you look away and then you look back and you're like, wait, what's going on in this movie?
Right. Yeah. Got to pay attention.
Yeah.
You got to constantly remind yourself who's who.
It's an important document of pop culture. You have to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Face Off.
Yeah.
It was very like Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson-esque. Like, let's just get 2 names and fucking like put it out there and like we know it'll sell.
John Woo. You've got the woo-ness of it all.
The woo-ness of it all
birds
is
and
very
bullets.
apparent.
That's all you need.
Birds, so many birds. Why? Okay, since we're talking about birds. Birds. Oh yeah, in the wedding scene or the church scene.
Yeah, if it's a John Woo movie, there's birds.
So many fucking birds. Like, what fucking church have you ever been to that just leaves its doors open on the fucking? It looks like the California beach or some shit.
Yeah,
and it's
just
like
it's supposed to be in SoCal, right?
Yeah, and like, oh, I guess just fucking let some doves in this motherfucker for ambiance.
Yeah.
Just let it walk around everywhere and shit on all the pews.
That's another great letterbox list, is movies with slow-mo doves.
It's all John Woo movie. Yeah.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
But going back to how fast that movie escalated, it goes from child murder to there's only one other possibility. We change your face.
Yeah.
Right. Here's the thing, though.
In like 15 minutes.
I would say, though, for me, I felt like it was longer than 15 minutes. I don't know what it actually was, but I felt like, because I kept watching it being like, okay, I need them to get to the face changing part because I haven't watched this movie in like 10 years, and I need to get to the face changing part because what's their fucking explanation for why this is possible and it's the only option left?
Yeah, well,
dude,
secret government.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah, that's
also
Face Off is the easiest answer. Is like if something's way too sci-fi to be believable, it's because we've always been able to do it. We just
that's
didn't
the
tell
other
you.
thing that I totally forgot about this fucking movie is it's like super pseudo future.
Yeah, because it's still supposed to be 97, but I'm like, oh, you're in the secret magnet boot island prison,
dude.
Nicolas Cage escaping from an island prison.
Island's pretty great.
Yeah,
dude. That's one of my my notes was. I feel like there was a lot of, or the 90s had a lot of high tech, futuristic style prisons in films.
I don't want to say that it's a very optimistic view because it has to do with prison, but it's kind of an optimistic view of the future.
Right. And then
we don't have any fucking magnet floors in any
place yet. Because then there was I think it was 80s. I think Fortress was in 89. It was on the cusp. I want to say it was on the cusp of late 80s, early 90s. But that movie Fortress with Christopher Lambert, that was the one where they had the like the collars on.
It's one of the ones where they had
and if you separated, you had a link to somebody, but you didn't know who it was. But if that person went away or outside of the range, both of your heads would explode.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
Weird that we don't have that now in 2020.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, it's coming. It's coming.
I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's coming.
We have it in one secret island prison that you don't know about.
It has, they have magnetic floors and shit.
They'll get it for everybody soon.
See, that's how you double it up. You have the magnetic floors and the collars. That way you can't run, but if you can, you still die.
Yeah. And then there was the other one where it wasn't futuristic. I mean, it was futuristic, but it was in a primitive island. That No Escape movie with Ray Liotta.
There's another one.
They just drop you on an island.
Yeah,
and it's all overrun by. Oh, I mean, it's a prison.
Yeah,
so of course it's all overrun by criminals.
There's other ones called Deadlock, which the second one is that I know you know about it, Jesse, because we fucking spent however long trying to find it at Grindhouse. But Deadlock 2 is where it's that whole concept with the fucking. We should just do these. We should just watch these and talk about it.
I was gonna say, wasn't the Condemned with Steve Austin the same thing?
Oh my god, it might be.
Yeah, but that's
Jack Conrad is awaiting the death penalty in a corrupt Central American prison. He's purchased by a wealthy TV producer and taken to a desolate island where he must fight to the death against 9 other condemned killers from all corners of the world. So,
damn,
that sounds like a dozen movies that I've seen.
Yeah.
I love
and you know what? I want to watch it.
I love how many prisoners fight to the death, and if you win, you get set free. Like anyone at home would be okay with that. Be like, he murdered 29 people. Like that's why he's on.
No, let him out.
Death row.
Let him
but
out.
you're gonna give him freedom if he murders 10 more. What?
Right,
what?
Right.
I haven't seen Escape from LA in years.
Oh, but it's pay-per-view. Okay,
but
it's great.
Isn't it on par with what we're discussing here? Isn't there a similarity?
An argument could be made.
Parallel.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But it's a futuristic wasteland kind of thing.
Well, it's all that like LA, the earthquakes at some point section off LA as an island essentially now.
Right.
And they turn the whole island of LA into a fucking, or it's the island of California maybe.
Yeah,
but
something like that.
I know that they just turn the whole fucking thing into an open air prison.
Right,
man.
A lot like they're gonna do in Guantanamo Bay now.
And he has to play basketball for his freedom as opposed to
Yeah, and he's sick. He's sick the whole time because he's infected with some kind of fucking virus.
Right.
Who would have thought we peaked as a society in cinema in the 90s?
Dude, who the fuck would have thought?
Specifically June of 1997, apparently.
Yeah. Both, what was it? Both Con Air and Face Off came out within 2 weeks of each other?
Yeah.
Which is bizarre. That's crazy how that works.
Nick Cage has always been a machine, bro.
Yeah. He stays working.
And The Rock came out, I think, the July before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So good.
Yeah. But yeah, I also love the whole there's a lot more I feel like I could say about Face Off just because of how fucking ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
But I love the whole the voice changer. We put a thing on your throat, and a violent sneeze can fuck this up.
Yeah.
And then proceeds to get fucking wrecked for 2 hours.
A violent sneeze, but you should be okay with at least 3 to 4 prison riots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the part where he's like trying to get it to fuck up and he like can't.
Right.
It's like, this should not be this hard.
Nah.
I love that scene where while they're doing that, it's like 10 seconds. And he just tests, like he says one word in his voice, got it. And then they move on. And that's the whole movie. Everything's so like, okay, move
10
on.
days. 10 days from when they found out there was a bomb and were like, here's an idea, to when he defuses the bomb. Which means they performed the surgery on him, got him into the prison,
no
talked to Pollux.
Yeah.
Well, no,
no recovery from surgery. No,
there was.
Healing,
they covered the recovery from surgery. They have super antibiotics or super anti-inflammatories.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
right.
they said that. He said that with the advances in anti-inflammatory medicine, that it's fucking almost instant.
Yeah.
Dude, this was written by a third grader for sure.
This movie for me, watching it again, just reminds me. This is like the turning point or the ultimate. I don't fucking care how much of it doesn't make sense. I love it. It's so good that I will overlook every plot hole.
Right.
Every blooper, those were clearly stunt doubles at the end. They weren't even the same height or weight or like
I think
like anything of John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. But I'm just like, I don't care. John Woo still crushed this shit. Like this is the ultimate. Just let people enjoy things type movie.
The acting is so bad,
but it's also still kind of fascinating because this movie is like if a 3-year-old wrote a movie, right? But when you're watching it, you don't feel like that. And I think it's entirely just because you could have this fairly dumb script, at least it's an original idea, but you have Cage and Travolta just being fucking cartoons. And like
Travolta's having so much fun.
Right?
Yeah. He doesn't he
you
may
don't
not
see him as a
realize
villain
that
enough. Like he was a good villain in Broken Arrow. And like something else. The Punisher, he was the bad guy too. But like this one, they're just like, you're gonna essentially like Nicolas Cage is gonna go unhinged, and then you're gonna parody that. You're just act like unhinged Nicolas Cage and make fun of yourself the whole time. And Travolta's like self-deprecating. It's so good.
They told him to do it for Xenu, and he was like, I got
it. I love the fact that they actually got Travolta to say the line, and this, or what was it? Gave me this ridiculous chin.
Oh yeah.
Like they got Travolta to diss himself.
I love all the like. It's funny. I just thought about it. It's only Travolta that's like complaining about the way he looks. At no point does Nick Cage ever say it.
Yeah, but that's Nick Cage,
right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's Castor Troy, so that makes sense.
And Nick Cage is just funny that he's like so mad that he looks like that when John Travolta for a long time was the like most attractive leading man.
Oh
like one of the go-to sex symbol, like Grease and shit. And he's just like, I look fucking hideous and this ridiculous chin. And his brother's like, now I'm the only one with the good looks. It's like, shut the fuck up, Pollux. Like,
Pollux. Your name is Pollux.
Yeah, who names your kid Castor and Pollux and doesn't expect them to become criminals?
Super criminals, like absolute.
Those
villains.
are movie villain names. If you plug something into a movie villain name generator, you wouldn't get something half as good as Castor and Pollux Troy.
What kind of, I mean, obviously, maybe that's a stupid question because I was going to say, what kind of terrorists are they? But then it's like, well, they did just put a bomb at the LA Convention Center.
Yeah,
so
I think he's just
those kind of
I think
terrorists.
He's just like the Joker type kind of guy.
Right.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Yeah, I want to see that movie.
The gold pistols and the suits and the...
Dude, the gold 1911s are dope.
Those are iconic. I remember I first saw this when I was in juvie, and the gold fucking pistols was like
great.
The fucking moment of that movie where everybody was like, "Oh fuck, those are sick."
How many pairs of them did he have though? Because he had them on him when he got taken in.
Right.
So how did Dietrich or whatever his name
didn't he grab
also
him?
have them?
Yeah, he's got backups.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got to have backups.
That's a good point because they were in his box.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's it. That's the end of the sentence. They were in his box.
They were in his box.
Nick Cage.
That's how you sneak stuff into a prison.
No. When he got back out, they were in the box. When he got back, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
There's something that's just very wrong about Nick Cage delivering that line. I could eat a peach for hours.
Oh God, it's disgusting.
It's so off. It's so unsettling.
I really want to know if any of our female listeners actually find that to be a red flag or sexy.
I know sexy.
If I were to send you flowers, where would I? How do I rephrase this? Would you mind sucking?
If I let you suck my tongue, would you be grateful?
I was like, what?
They did. So that's what it is he murdered the kid, and you're like, okay, so he's a villain. And then he's doing the priest dance where he assaults a choir girl.
Just straight assaults her.
And just says
middle school.
Just the creepiest shit ever.
Yeah.
And then, gets on the plane and says that shit to the woman before he shoots her and just tosses her off the jet.
Yeah, they really
watch her
get
body
across.
fucking roll.
They're like, no,
he's a scumbag.
He's bad.
Yeah.
Any movie that you've seen, he's worse.
Yeah.
Right. Dude, that runway scene, first off, that's the longest runway ever.
Yeah.
That's the longest ever in film history. That has to be it. But that runway battle had everything.
Yeah.
It had everything that you just described, and then Travolta commandeers a chopper, and then lands the chopper on the plane, and then it's got
first
everything.
He's chasing it down in a Hummer,
in a Humvee. He's playing chicken with a plane in a Humvee, and then for some reason he thinks that if he doesn't bail out because he's got I
didn't understand that at all.
Yeah,
he's like,
you're just
gonna be her, and I'm like, of course he does. She was on the
what? Come on, Travolta.
You said put her on the plane. Like that's your idea.
Yeah, that's her job.
Yeah.
Travolta's a bit of an emotional individual.
He's a terrible agent. I'll tell you that fucking much.
Yeah,
he's stressed.
He's
stressed.
Yeah, he's got a personal
stressed.
vendetta. He's out. He's out for vengeance, and it clouds his judgment.
Which is a known thing that those agents don't work those cases. You'd
think eventually they'd be like, maybe we should take him off the guy that murdered his son case. Seems to be consuming everything about his life.
He's a little unhinged.
It's funny.
I just slept in 6 years.
Yeah.
I just thought about comparing this because I just recently watched Justified, and just comparing him to Timothy Olyphant in Justified.
Totally different.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's I like the emo daughter who gets
oh my god,
de-gothified by the entire experience.
That was ridiculous. God. I forgot there was when people had no idea what being goth even remotely was.
Yeah. You just imagine the script is just his daughter looks like she just shopped at Hot Topic, I guess. I don't know.
I think this
nose ring, thick black eyeliner.
Right.
Dude, and her eyeliner is the really thick, tarantula lines.
Yeah, she drew eyelashes on. I'm like, what are you?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's just not a thing.
No. A character design by some middle-aged white dude. An accountant.
For sure.
This is what it is.
Probably whoever was writing or directing the movie, John Woo was having issues with his teenage daughter. Was like, put it in.
Yeah.
Just make a caricature of her.
Either that or John Woo was probably like, I don't fucking care. I got to get to the boat scene.
Yeah.
Boat chases.
How many more explosions can we work in here if we just kind of half-ass her character?
Right. I need 5 more. 5 more fireballs.
So many sparks. I didn't realize when you shoot literally any building or any structure or anything, sparks, just fucking fireworks everywhere.
Yeah.
Is that how bullets work? I had 100%. No idea. Yeah.
These movies are testaments to kind of like what you were saying a second ago of the scene where they're at the church near the end. And because I remember going okay, so he's walking up to the church, there's going to be a confrontation. I'm like, how much left is in this movie? And it's like maybe 10, 15 minutes. It's getting to the end and you're watching it. And then all of a sudden there's a boat chase. And it's like, how did we get here? How did we traverse all of that ground? It's nuts.
Editing
nuts.
Cuts,
You don't
buddy.
see that anymore.
You
just don't.
Because I was
it
like,
makes sense.
he's walking up to the church, and then he's just in the fucking church.
And then they're in a boat, and then they're battling on the high seas.
Well, you don't
it's fucking
see
nuts.
it anymore. I'm sure it's a whole like pile on, but you had John Woo, which was a name. You had John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, obviously, two of the biggest actors in history at like the peaks of their careers. So this was when studios didn't have a bunch of streamers to compete with and didn't have 100 fucking movies every weekend to compete with. So they would allow a 2.5 hour R-rated action movie to happen. Whereas now they'd be like, no, we got to get this down to like 95 minutes. And we got to save here. We got to save here. Cut the boat chase. Cut this. And you get these Netflix action movies that are like,
you'd have no Godfather at all.
Yeah.
None.
So you get these like Netflix action movies that are fine but not memorable, and no one's talking about them 30 fucking years later on a podcast as like peak dad movie shit. Like,
and you made a comment a minute ago, Josh, about the stunt doubles. Like, I went back and I watched True Lies maybe about 10 years ago, and I was like, God, this sucks. Because every single stunt scene is not Arnold, and it's so painfully obvious that it's not Arnold.
What do you mean? How can you tell?
But then I watched Face Off, and at the end, I'm like, or all through it, I'm like, that's not Nick Cage, that's not John Travolta, that's not that person, that's not that person.
It's not Nicolas Cage's fault he can't barefoot ski off the side of a boat, Justin.
Right, of course. But then I was like watching these two stunt doubles fly through the air as boats are flying behind them, and there's just a wall of flame. I'm like, this is gorgeous. This is amazing. And I don't care that those two people are not my two guys that I've been watching this whole movie, because those are actual people flying in front of a wall of fire. And then I was like, I don't fucking care. This is great.
This is exactly why I love wrestling, right? Because like, I know that it's fake, but it's still fucking amazing.
I would rather see that than exactly.
It's real
to me. Exactly. Like, I would rather see that, knowing that that's not Nick Cage and John Travolta, than seeing those two people on and know that it's just wire work.
The essence of storytelling.
Because
like, it doesn't matter what you're seeing; it matters what you're feeling, and you're so locked into the movie at that point. You're like, that is them with fake faces.
That's where Tom Cruise gets a really dude, that's where that guy's really impressive.
The only place where that guy is really impressive. Also he has one tooth in the middle. That's pretty impressive.
That's a good one.
But
all fair points.
Because once the Matrix happened and they introduced wire work into everything, a lot of action sequences just got kind of, not saying the Matrix is incredible, but the use of wire work in explosions and fight scenes and stuff like that made it feel weird. That.
I will say the wire work, the actual stunt part of the wire work in Face Off, great.
No, they didn't do any wire work in Face Off. I'm saying,
can see the fucking
wasn't
wires.
Even a thing.
No, they did some wire stuff.
They did some wire stuff.
Not in the way of what I'm
No. I'm just saying the actual wire work. You can see the fucking wires.
When the dude gets shot and he gets like pulled back through.
There's a bunch of moments where like they just didn't fucking bother getting rid of them.
Gotcha.
But I would much rather see that than a CGI body fucking plowing through a fake wall looking like a computer game. I'm like, that's a real human being who just got thrown into a wall going like 40 miles an hour.
One of the things
that's so cool.
So much better about practical stunts is it looks, even if it's ridiculous, that like, because if you shoot somebody with a shotgun, they don't go flying. That's just not how it works. But no,
we saw this in Dark Fate. Really, they just fall over. they fall over and they bleed a little bit, and then you see them a second time and they reach out and still moan and talk to their mom. Yeah.
That's that's true.
That's why the movie we did earlier last year. I have it. I guess you can't see it in the feed right now. Yeah, Seventh Curse. I mean, that talk about fucking people doing actual stunts where like half that cast fucking died or broken, like half their fucking bones.
They were going nuts.
And that's like the it's something we'll never see again, obviously, due to laws. It's not illegal.
They're getting rid of Ocean Man. We might have it soon.
Yeah. But that's what's crazy about just the lore of older movies, of just crazy shit that would happen. And majority of it awful, but watching it now, it's fascinating. It's like, God, they were fucking doing that, and it's captured on camera. It's nuts. Yeah. And, we watch CGI now, and it's like you said, it just kind of removes. You don't have that reaction. You're like, oh fuck, like that guy might have died.
Physically, you don't feel it. You know what I mean? Like, because so much of the CG stuff, it just kind of feels floaty and like disconnected.
Well, that and everything is filmed so tight and so up close, so that way they could edit, and there's just not like in Face Off, the camera's back enough. So that way John Woo could fit in all of that explosion.
Well, and that's the other thing is that for CG, so many of the shots have to be locked in to where it doesn't have if you're doing an actual physical explosion and people flying and shit, you could follow it, but you can't follow with CG because then it'll fuck the whole CG up. So then you just have these real static shots and you're like, oh, okay, well, something's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, that's a lot of Face Off right there.
There's a lot of Face Off.
I was gonna say cue number 4,782 times that these four guys have gone on about why the 90s and 80s were better than modern day cinema.
Amen.
Yeah.
Prove us wrong.
Yeah. I would love to.
Go for it, Justin.
Yeah, try. No. I'd love for somebody to prove it wrong. Okay, so one thing that this rewatch of Con Air taught me is that if you don't have some type of an emotional reaction when Nick Cage is trying to give his daughter the bunny, then you've got some serious emotional development.
My fucking last note for the movie was, if you don't cry when that little girl hugs his fucking leg, you're not human.
Yeah, dude. You've got
Patricia
Nick Cage.
Yearwood kicks in. She's like,
no, it's not. No, it's not Patricia Yearwood. It's Leanne Rimes, Josh. No, it's Leanne Rimes, dude. I don't want to live without you.
You're right.
Okay, that song was huge.
I can't
in the
believe
summer
that
of
Josh
90,
got it wrong, and I just went with it.
I don't think I got it wrong because I could have sworn it was
it's
in
Leanne Rimes. It's Leanne Rimes. I know it is.
I love your guys' praise of killing a 6-year-old kid in the beginning of Face Off. And then, it's so heartwarming when a little girl hugs.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that little kid didn't hug John Travolta.
Yeah.
Right.
It's different when it's John Travolta's kid.
Right. Yeah.
That might not be in good taste.
Leanne Rimes covered it after Trisha Yearwood did it for Con Air.
No, that's on the soundtrack.
You have the same internet I do.
It might have hold on, it might have been one of those weird situations where they had her cover it to not have to pay Trisha Yearwood for the soundtrack.
Maybe. Oh, wow. That's weird. Because I remember when I googled it earlier, it brought up Leanne Rimes, not Trisha Yearwood.
I think that's because the Leanne Rimes one was much more popular.
Trisha Yearwood is married to Garth Brooks, and anything Garth Brooks adjacent, I'm going to know. Just
that's fair.
Just so you know.
That's. Oh yeah, no, Garth Brooks. I was thinking of Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
No, I don't know.
Why are we talking about these people?
Because it's a Trisha Yearwood song that kicks you at the beginning and the end of Con Air, and yes,
like that
Niagara Falls.
In that scene, like you've got Nick Cage and he's in his tank top and he's covered in sweat and dirt and he's like Alabama jacked. And, he's got a bullet hole in his arm and he's just trying to stumble his way through giving this fucking bunny to his daughter.
because just the Alabama checks. I wonder when these two movies.
I think that this is an important moment. Hold on.
When did these movies get shot? Because they came out the same.
Dude, I was thinking the same.
But he did get fucking big for that role, and he's pretty. He looks tiny in Face Off.
Yeah, he was.
Does he take his shirt off much in Face Off? I guess it's not called shirt off.
Well, it's off when he's like getting the surgery, and then
and he's not. That's not
a real person. That was a fucking dummy, right?
Yeah. But he looks super fucking slim, and he's like wearing like tight fitting clothes. He's got like little small trench coat thing, and
holy shit. Principal photography for Face Off began January 4th of 1997, wrapped April 1st. So they started filming in January, wrapped in April, and it was in theaters June 27th.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
That explains why you could see the wires.
It also explains just how fucking like nuts that that movie makes.
Remember when they used to start making a movie and it'd be in theaters 6 months later? Now it's like you hear about a movie being greenlit and we see it 7 years later.
That's crazy.
If not 7 weeks later.
That's why, like, the editing of that movie is fucking. The editing of Face Off is awful. Like, it's just all over the fucking place. That's why they spent no time on it.
But Con Air, man, like, Nick had it going on.
Con Air
he was looking good in that movie.
Perfect.
Are those extensions? They got to be extensions, right?
Oh yeah,
he grew his hair.
That wasn't his hair.
No. That's what he grew because that was after Face Off, right? He just grew that in between. He's Nick Cage.
I think
he's Nick Cage, man. He's method.
Came out 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, so he grew it in between. He got
transplants at some point, right? Because I mean, his hairline was super receding then. And I feel like he's got more hair now, and that's fucking 30 years ago.
It's pretty back there.
It's pretty back there.
It just stopped.
He might have.
It just stopped receding 30 years ago.
No,
he's a vampire. What do you want?
Yeah, that's a good point. But
Con Air was filmed the year before.
Okay,
second unit work began June of '96. So that was
So he grew the hair.
That's only like
he grew the hair out for Con Air, and then he cut it for Face Off. That makes sense.
No, but he. So there was probably 6 months in between those two movies,
roughly. Yeah,
or filming those two movies.
See?
So
totally enough time to cut his hair.
Yeah.
But he it's so weird to go back and watch Con Air because, my association with Nick Cage is all these crazy movies.
Yeah.
And he's never known for having looking jacked.
Right.
But
never. It's
Con
the only
Air's
time.
different. I
really don't think he looks that jacked. I think he
for
just
Nick Cage.
I think he just looks like a normal...
For Nick Cage jacked.
He's Alabama jacked.
He got Alabama jacked.
I think
jacked.
that the difference is I don't think he's jacked. I think he's ripped.
Well, that's what
jacked implies bigger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he put on some.
He looks. I don't think he wasn't really. I don't know.
We didn't say swole.
I want to go over.
But I will say, just career-wise, it's very Edward Norton-esque, like American History X, where it's like this scrawny guy, and then out of nowhere, it's like, what the fuck? Like, Edward Norton's jacked.
You can do that? What?
Why don't you just always do that?
I really want to touch on how Con Air has one of the best ensemble casts ever.
Ever.
Like the amount of people in this fucking Nick Cage, obviously, John Malkovich, John Cusack, Steve Buscemi, Danny Trejo, Ving Rhames, Dave Chappelle, Cole Meany, and then MC Gainey as Swamp Thing, and my personal favorite, Renoli Santiago, also known as Freak from Hackers, as Sally Canty.
Yes.
Don't forget John Cusack's suit. That's like a fucking parachute. That's also in this movie.
Yeah. What is John Cusack doing in this movie? Dude, I'm not saying why is John Cusack in Con Air. I'm saying what the fuck is this guy doing throughout this movie? Because he's just running everywhere. He's panicking the entire fucking time. He's in he's losing his shit at every single moment throughout this whole fucking.
He's Cusacking.
He's Cusack.
That's all he does. Yeah, you watch Serendipity, you watch fucking Con Air, you watch Gross Point Blank, you watch what's the music one?
Edgar Allan Poe.
No, goddamn, it's killing me. works in the record store.
High
Fidelity.
High
Yeah.
Fidelity. High Fidelity.
Yeah. He's always like, stressing out about shit. That's
One Crazy Summer.
That's a good point. He does stress out a lot.
Yeah, you think?
And all of his like 1408. He's
really good at it.
You need a guy that's super stressed the fuck out.
Poor guy.
You seen The Ice Harvest?
No.
I'm not fucking around. That is a Christmas noir movie where he's like a hitman. It's got Billy Bob Thornton in it. It's fucked up.
Oh,
it's so
I
good.
remember the trailer for that.
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick.
Christmas movies.
Right? I just want to say real quick. A Nice Harvest, not very profitable.
What?
A Nice Harvest, not very profitable.
No, not
Nice Harvest.
No.
You don't understand. I got all this. I got all this
4 fields of ice.
I have to do it. Okay?
I got all these ice plants.
I have to do it.
The movie came and went, but it came out on DVD when I worked at Blockbuster, and I was like, fucking John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton, I gotta check this out. And I went home and watched it, and I was like, why aren't more people talking about this movie? Like, it
better have a lot of ice.
It's got a fair amount of ice.
It's got a fair amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because it takes place in Wichita Falls, I think.
It does get icy.
Yeah, 2005 comedy thriller. Oh, it's not fucking streaming anywhere. So now nobody can
I've ever been
it.
was in
Randy Quaid.
Yeah, around there. Oh wow. Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, and it was directed by Harold Ramis.
We did go to Wichita Falls, didn't we?
It was somewhere around there. I remember.
I think there was a show there. Yeah, I think that was.
No, that
was
Kansas. No, we never had. Had a show. We had to cross through Kansas, going from Kansas City, which is Missouri, to Texas, and we slept on this like side of the road pull off thing, and I remember it was so cold, and I was sleeping on the floor of the van underneath the fucking bench that you were on, and my feet were against the door and it was drafty. Yeah. And I've never been that
the whole
cold
bottom of that fucking van was drafty because there's a giant hole in the driver's floor.
Yeah. Yeah. That was miserable. Fuck Kansas. Yeah. Anyway.
But so John Cusack is great. Yes.
Yeah. Perfect place to go to harvest some ice.
It's true.
Yeah. And be stressed about it.
Yes.
Cole Meany is such a dick in this movie.
Which one's Cole?
The Colm.
He's from Star Trek. He's got the
Star Trek
car
guy,
that says ads kicker.
Yeah. He's
that fucking guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He's actually, this is a funny story. As I was watching this, I was like, oh, fuck, that's Cole Meany. When I used to work at Universal Studios, he called in to buy tickets for him and his family. I probably have told this story before.
No, you're somebody else because you've talked to a lot of people.
Oh, but he called in, and his assistant actually called in for him. And she was like, I'm looking for tickets for Cole Meany. I don't know if you know who he is. And I was like, yeah, I know Cole Meany. Sorry, I work at a movie studio and I watch a lot of movies. I know who he is.
Right.
And she's like, oh, wonderful. Well, I'm trying to find tickets for him and his family. Sorry, I just got a random notification on my laptop and it was very fucking loud in my ear. There we go. So I was like, yeah, I can help. And so she tries to get down some information for like the VIP tour because he wants to get tickets for like a dated tour. Calls me back again to get more information, time and dates when he's going to be in town for this week. Calls me back like a third time. And then my phone rings finally a fourth time and I pick up. And it's all like, Josh, it's Cole Meany. And I'm like,
oh, that's awesome.
Hi. And he's like, sorry, I feel like talking with you directly is going to get me the best results the fastest. And I was like, you're probably right. And he was like, I got my kids with me. I want to do the tour. What, like, I got this day and this day. What do you recommend? And I was like, like kind of cycling through the schedule and everything. But he was, super chill.
Will
so
you be
nice.
taking the teleporter here?
Right. Yeah. He would have loved that. Yeah. He was awesome. He was awesome. So now every time I see him in a movie, I'm like, oh yeah, that's my friend Cole Meany. Character actor whose name I probably would have forgotten if it weren't for that experience. Because now I'm like, I know that guy. Like I saw MC Gainey as Swamp Thing, and I was like, that's not Powers Booth.
No.
That's not the guy from Tombstone. That's not the other guy that he kind of looks like. That's fuck. I gotta Google it. Like MC Gainey looks like 3 or 4 other actors from the 90s that played like big intimidating dudes.
The main thing that I know him from is he was on Lost. He's like the big like muscle dude.
He's the Cloud, right?
Yeah, he's the monster.
No, damn, that is Bubba Gump, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, this movie
dude,
has everybody.
So stacked.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. Yeah, we didn't even mention Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, it is.
Like has the last name Gump.
Yeah, that's this is gonna sound terrible. I'm prefacing this. This is gonna sound mean. I'm gonna sound like an asshole.
If we edit it cleanly, we should be okay.
No matter what he says, Dre, just beep the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't mean for this to sound mean, but I feel like maybe I'm blowing this.
Spit it out.
Yeah. I love the build up for this.
Sometimes
it's
really overselling
it's probably
it now.
way overselling.
So mild.
Probably. But one of my pet peeves about movies now is everyone is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Everyone. And it's becoming to a point where I'm having a difficult time really trying to like pay attention and connect, because it's like, okay, Austin Butler, you're a really good actor. I like Austin Butler, but Jesus Christ, you were so hot that I can't buy anything you're doing.
Like the Manson family weren't all lookers. What is this?
Yeah, I don't buy that you are a World War II fighter pilot. You know what I mean? Especially when, and it's not just how attractive they are, it's how the director knows that they're attractive and sets them up for shots and does all these things, right?
Yeah.
So when you watch Con Air, I'm not saying
they're all ugly.
It's refreshing because they all look like normal people.
Names.
You mentioning some of these names,
Dave
it's like I'm
Chappelle,
going down.
John Malkovich, John Cusack.
Yeah, it's like
Nicolas fucking Cage.
Malkovich
now
is
Nicolas Cage. Yeah, Nicolas Cage
He's Alabama
and Malkovich. Yeah, exactly. Like those two dudes in this movie, they're especially Malkovich. Like the shaved
Steve
head,
Buscemi looking hot as fuck.
You know what's weird about Steve Buscemi is total change of subject. It's kind of the same. True. But speaking of that, so Con Air came out in 96?
Yeah.
And Airheads was 93?
Yeah.
So it doesn't even look, it doesn't even, it's not even that much time in between. He has never, ever looked like he did in Airheads.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
It's like a total, I know he's got long hair and a goatee, but it's like something happened his.
You know what I think it is? I think it's that committing a massive hostage situation really ages you.
Yeah. That's gotta be what it was.
Because
it's gotta be stressful. It's gotta be
stressful. That's always bugged me, because I always see Steve Buscemi in other movies and I'm like, why? How did that happen? Like you look like Steve Buscemi before Airheads and after Airheads. But in Airheads, you were not Steve Buscemi.
I think it's the hair.
It's got
long hair and Mr. Deeds.
The hair.
Or not Mr. Deeds, Big Daddy. He's the
but he has like rocker hair.
He's the homeless guy.
Yeah.
I think he's cross-eyed in that too.
I think it's partly, I don't know, because every time I see, like I had just watched Airheads for the first time a couple of years ago because on your guys' recommendation.
Wow.
And
it's a great movie.
Anytime I saw cover art for it or a poster for it or anything like that, I'm like, oh yeah, I always forget it was Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, and Adam Sandler. Like, I never like remembered it was those three dudes, which is why every time I saw that, I was like, why haven't I watched this fucking movie yet? Those are like three
so good,
like them together sounds amazing.
Wipes his ass with his record
contract. I love this guy. I will like die happy knowing two things. One, that Selma Hayek is aware of our From Dusk Till Dawn designs and liked it.
Yes.
And thought that they were cool. Because one guy that bought from us a bunch of times lives in LA and he goes to premieres all the time, and somehow he just ends up meeting everybody. It's crazy. And the same dude ended up wearing an Airhead shirt and meeting Steve Buscemi, and he thought it was cool.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
duck me in the water, do my drum solo.
You can't do that. You can't move fast enough underwater to play drums. Yeah. You just can't.
Buscemi in Con Air, though, obviously he's the most sociopathic, which is crazy because it's all lore and backstory.
He
and
literally
Steve
does
Buscemi acting like Steve
nothing
Buscemi
in the movie.
Yeah,
nothing.
He's just like the irony of them like singing a song by a band that died in a plane crash.
Define irony.
Yeah. Also, I love the insert shot of the little girl like, no, we didn't. She's not dead. We promise.
Just so
promise she's not dead.
Yeah.
But dude, the whole framing and the music and the way they filmed him walking up to the girl, the whole conversation.
It's like,
it is one. I remember watching that as I was 12 when that movie came out, watching that constantly and getting to that part. And I remember even as a kid being like, God, this is so creepy and so wrong.
I do really, really, really want a Steve Buscemi serial killer movie.
Yeah.
Because like an actual honestly, I'd love a
spin-off of Con Air.
I'd love a spin-off where it's him, even now, like a current Steve Buscemi where he's older and he's just been free and doing shit and whatever.
He's playing craps. He's in Vegas at the end of that movie. Yeah. Just doing his
He's got
thing.
money apparently. Wow, where did he get the money from to play craps in the first place?
Dude, he's Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, he picked up some of the cash from the truck.
Picked it up off the ground, right?
That's right. Yeah. He thinks on his feet.
Yeah.
What did he say? He wore her head.
He wore her head
across
3 states.
And he drove through 3 states. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a heavy hat.
Well, no,
I always thought that was a weird line. I was like, the whole head has a hat.
Yeah, the whole. Yeah. How does that work?
I feel like it's only from top,
maybe
top
here
jaw up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the rest of it's
you gotta
like a
have
hood.
Something. Yeah, because you gotta have something to fit around your head.
Yeah, that's the neck.
Like a beanie.
No, the neck goes across the back. The neck skin goes across the back, and it really you gotta pull it down.
Oh man, that's a hell of an image.
Yeah, it's like those winter hats that go over your ears.
You can, and it's going over your ears, so you can kind of hear it squelch, and then a little bit of blood drips down.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta be because we don't know what states he drove through.
If it was Omaha, that took 4 days.
Yeah, it might have been
just for Omaha.
No, it was really the little panhandles, Mississippi, Alabama, into New Orleans, and actually it was a 40-minute drive.
He cheated.
He's like, I technically drove through 3 states, but
that makes sense.
I didn't even need to refill my gas tank.
He's a serial killer. He's a liar.
It's true.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I really feel like that's like a missed opportunity to see him in more
wearing a little girl's head.
Yeah. Well, but he can play. He can play creepy shit so well that he needs to lean into that.
It does kind of make me wonder. Okay, so he clearly kills little girls. So why didn't he?
No, he doesn't. No, he said it was I want to say, didn't he say in that conversation he was talking about a woman, not like a kid?
No, it's a little girl. I'm pretty sure he said it was a little girl.
I don't think so. It didn't. I don't think it's specified.
Yeah, I don't remember that being the case. Yeah.
But because that's why he didn't kill the kid.
I guess that makes more sense. But
he's got a conscience for a serial killer.
So I mean, a lot of these guys, even Cyrus has a conscience. I despise rapists.
Yeah.
He's like killed like 1 million people.
So you're somewhere between a cockroach and that white stuff that accumulates at the corner of your mouth when you're thirsty.
So good. I just want to meet Danny Trejo and be like, bro, what the fuck? Like, how fucked was it to film this?
Call me Johnny 800 if they knew the truth.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of Malkovich, what a random movie to see him show up in and then play this role.
Although, to be fair, he did do a movie where you could go into his own head.
That was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But
it's just random as fuck for Nicolas Cage. Like, what a weird fucking role for him. He's some Alabama jacked fucking long hair dude. That's just, is that even real? Least... would he really go to prison for defending his?
That's the one thing. That's the one thing that I've always wondered about. Is I don't know, because there is the fucking line. Which I don't know if this is actually a thing in real life, but in the movie there is the line that he's technically a trained weapon.
It's not.
Yeah, no,
it's not a real thing. That's
just the
one
badassery
of the
movie.
That's like one of the bloopers I read online. Is they were like, this is not an actual thing in U.S.
No,
like no matter what you've learned, if you're a black belt, you're still given the same rights in self-defense as somebody who.
Right,
like,
who would be way more lethal than a Marine. Like Marines are trained in hand-to-hand combat, but not like a fucking actual martial artist, like an MMA fighter.
One really specific thing that I caught this time that I guess I haven't before. They pick up the knife. So
pick up the knife.
There's no proof that he was actually being deadly threatened.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I think,
but also we can chalk it up to
uppercut.
Yeah.
Well, no, bro. It's that death punch from the heel hit. Like it's
that's the most 90s thing in that movie.
I remember that being such a even before this movie was a thing. I remember that being such a fucking thing. Of like everyone
you could kill people so easily by doing that.
You actually could technically if you know how to do it right. But also how many people are doing that? Yeah, you can jam that bone into your brain.
Yeah,
no.
But it's
what
all
bone?
cartilage.
It's cartilage.
It's all cartilage.
Well,
there is no
bone. Not the cartilage. The bone. This part's bone.
You ever seen a skull?
I know.
Right
I'm not talking about this part. I'm talking about the
you're
top
talking
part.
about this part.
Yeah,
and this is when Creep-O-Rama. Never mind.
There's also
that we went video.
There's also so for you in the audio podcast, there's also that little little thin
people listening on Spotify. Are they just pointing at their fucking noses for the last 5 minutes? What is
yes, actually,
no, not them, just me.
But I forgot what I was going to say.
I
don't think you would go to. I don't think that you would go to prison. But the exact same thing as Face Off. You need to get from point A to point B as fast as humanly possible while still telling a story.
Yeah.
And then you just forget about how ridiculous that journey is from point A to point
B. They wouldn't put a guy who's being released today for
on a plane
on that plane with all those fucking
They said that he had to go back to his original prison to then get released from there.
Having been transferred from many fucking correctional facilities as a kid, that's not how that fucking works.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
They wouldn't land in Carson City. If they found out that a plane overtaken by criminals just left this public airport, they wouldn't let a tour plane take off shortly after.
Right.
But this is another just like Face Off. Where I'm like, I don't fucking care about the plot.
Also,
this movie's fun as hell.
2025, they fucking go after that tourist plane, and they just crash into it.
Oh yeah,
and Nicolas Cage in an awful Southern accent. Like that's all I need. Like everything else doesn't matter. That's what makes
that jacked.
Put the bunny back in the box line. Everyone loved the put the bunny back in the box line. And when I watch it, I'm like, that's one of the worst delivered lines.
Right.
In this whole movie.
Back in the box.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back?
What's funny is I think that everybody that repeats it does a better job of it.
Like it sounds like they just couldn't get it down, but he was already sick of doing 25 takes. So he's just like, why couldn't you put the bunny
back in the box?
Oh, Billy Bedlam.
Billy Bedlam.
I do love a good roster readout at the beginning. When you've got Cyrus Grissom, aka Cyrus the Virus. You've got Billy Bedlam. He did this, serving 20 years for this. You've got this guy. You did this. I'm like, who's Cameron Poe? Nobody. No one gives a shit about him.
Don't even worry about him. We're just putting him on this probably the most expensive flight ever taken.
Yeah, filler seat. There we go.
And this other guy. Why is Baby-O even going where they're going?
Who?
Baby-O.
I don't remember.
The insulin guy.
Bubba.
Bubba
Gump.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just like, well, I guess.
I was wondering that too.
I guess
because I didn't think he was getting out.
No.
They needed somebody.
They
needed a partner, like a friend to.
Yeah.
that
attached to.
Nick Cage could save.
All these fucking horrible fucking criminals and like Baby O. I don't even know what he did, but clearly he's not fucking on the level of Cyrus. Fucking
Dave Chappelle, like white collar crime, right? He's like, right, but I really just got caught.
But I feel like Dave Chappelle's gotten caught many times at this point.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas
Might
Baby
have
O
caused a few suicides by like draining people's bank accounts or something.
Right.
I mean, also he's totally willing to light a guy on fire. So
yeah. Hope you don't hold the grudge.
Yeah. I love this shot later.
YMCA on the plane.
I love this shot later when he's running and the fucking dude's just like, fuck you. Also, what a brutal way to die, bro. He got fucking caught in the landing gear. Ugh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the ending of Con Air follows the same path as the ending of Face Off. The fact that they go from all of this action and all of this stuff on a plane to bam, now we're in Vegas and now we have to land on the Vegas Strip and then now we're on the back of a fire truck.
Yeah. Well,
and then now Nick Cage is hanging on by one arm and he does that thing where he holds his wrist.
I don't understand. I've watched him doing that so much that time and I was like, why is he doing that? That arm isn't injured.
Yeah, no, he like
to hold himself up.
Yeah, it's to hold himself
up.
He
has two hands and it's a ladder.
But you can't use both your hands when you got an angry John Malkovich.
So it's better to hold on to the ladder with one hand and completely useless the other hand.
Because James, when you're Alabama jacked and when you're in a tank top and you're holding with the one hand, it looks so fucking cool.
Does it?
He's got one blowing.
It did look pretty
one hand
cool.
Crushed instead of two. You don't want to get two hands.
It doesn't look cool. Yeah, but in the two hand, you can't two hang it. It doesn't work.
Two hang it.
You gotta one hang it.
You're supposed to have 3 points of contact at all times.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Also,
that ending, though,
I love. Go ahead, Josh.
No, you go first. I want to know what you love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I care
that the whole fucking fire truck scene is like. Out watching it, we just watched Die Hard, and it's
which one?
First all of them.
Oh, okay.
All of them except for the last one, which doesn't exist.
No.
Not Live Free or Die Hard. Live Free or Die Hard, the unrated version, is great. And everybody that has bitched about Live Free or Die Hard being a bad movie needs to go watch the unrated cut. Because I don't know what the fuck they did, but they fucked it up on the fucking the PG-13 cut. Anyways, but watching all of those, I realized that they fucking like land the plane and they're having their big like end of the moment scene with fucking Nick Cage talking to what's her face, the guard chick. And like, it's a fucking like, oh, he's not quite dead yet scene that then takes another 10 minutes. It's the scene where fucking he turns around and shoots him, except we gotta go get into a motorcycle chase now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Also, Cyrus the Virus is the most killed motherfucker I've ever seen.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. It's like, dude, so they're on a fire truck.
Right.
They're in a tunnel. And then I can't remember. Then they crash, and then he goes through the fucking walkway.
Yeah,
and then somehow he lands in a warehouse looking place that looks like Terminator.
First, he falls through electrical wires and gets electrocuted as well. And then I think, does he land on the conveyor belt or just his head?
Yeah, he lands on the conveyor belt.
So he lands on a conveyor belt, which is more damage because he's still falling from like 20 feet. And then,
where is the locale of this place that drops the big thing on his head? Because a second ago he's in Vegas.
Yeah, bro, it's in the middle of the street in Vegas.
He's in the middle.
This is right behind Vegas. I mean, if you guys have never been to Vegas, clearly this is right behind the Stratosphere. This is no, it's that's the Circus, the Adventure Dome. That was a kid's ride.
Right.
The rock breaker. You sit on the rock breaker as it goes up and down.
Shocker, it hasn't gotten
but you're not
closed down
supposed
yet.
to get under it because that'll kill you. Clearly.
No, that's what I was going to say, though, is if you're
it's a rock
from
breaker.
Vegas or if you've been to Vegas, this whole ending is so funny because he's like, oh, I can't make it to the airport. I'm landing on the Strip. And then he crashes into the Hard Rock Guitar. the Hard Rock Hotel is not on the Strip. It is closer to the airport than it is to the Strip. So if you just crash into the Hard Rock, you can make it to the airport.
Yeah.
But that clearly they were like, no, it'll just be a really cool image of the plane taking out the giant fucking guitar. Yeah. So that's what we have to do, because that's the hotel that everyone who's never even been to Vegas would still recognize as like a landmark.
I mean, it gets a shout out in Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And then gets on the fire engine. And then, we get the whole car chase. Like you said, it's just like Face Off, where you think it's almost over. And then they're like, nope, we're going to fit the boat chase in there. And this one, we're going to fit in a fire truck chase, firing the water while they're driving, which I don't think those trucks are able to do. And then, he just gets launched into literally a thing that I don't think exists anywhere near Vegas, whatever he landed in. And that's the beauty of this, is they didn't even bother to like, what's nearby the Vegas Strip that he could get thrown into that would kill him? Let's just pretend there's like some refinery that crushes shit, with giant steel drums that just land on the ground every once in a while. And the conveyor belt leads right up to the thing that smashes stuff. He just gets thrown into a smash factory.
Not only did you could get away with it for a number of reasons. Nobody cared. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
No,
I still don't care.
Right. But today, you can't slide with that. Audiences don't let shit slide like that. It's just we all know Vegas.
We're currently not letting it slide
now. Yeah. But I feel that way as someone who lived in LA and a million movies have been shot there, and I watch. I'm like, he was just driving on fucking Santa Monica. How the fuck is he now? It's like, what the hell?
The car chase in Barbie for like a good chunk suddenly is right down the street from our apartment in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Most of it's in LA. And then there's a part in Barbie where she's exiting this freeway that we take every day whenever we're leaving. And I was like, where the fuck did they just...
Yeah,
okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But nobody else knows
you see that a lot where something's taking place in LA and then it's like a 2-minute drive, and now they're in Big Bear or some shit. It's a 3.5 hour drive. How'd you do that?
The thing is we're not criticizing it
no.
It's it's like, wow, this is really funny because I don't care. This is great.
But that's
whereas
what I
feel like if that were to be made and put out now, I feel like it would be criticized in a negative way.
Yeah. That's my point.
The difference.
100%. You can't get away with that today. Which, I mean, that's not the only part of this movie you can't get away with. It's just these action movies are very
fantastic.
They're very, very 90s.
So many fun lines.
It does show, especially. I mean, I mentioned John Cusack's suit. He's not the only one with the suit like that, but we just dressed like fucking idiots in the 90s. People just dressed so bad. It was just so bad.
Speak for yourself. I looked cool.
But he had
2XL corn t-shirt and my anchor blue jeans around my knees.
These are like FBI agents wearing suits that look like Jenkos.
No, dude, he's trying to be like David Byrne from Talking Heads.
Yeah.
Like paragliding.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Could you just imagine John Cusack just be, stop making sense as he's trying to fucking
It's gotta stop making sense. Stop. You gotta stop.
This movie feels more Michael Bay than most Michael Bay movies to me.
Yes.
Which I also love about it. I always forget that it was Simon West who directed it. I remember having
what else is Simon West on?
Oh man, I had this written down. Let me pull it back up because it's not a ton of great stuff, but
you got it. Pull it back up. What movie is that from?
I don't know.
Lara Croft Tomb Raider. The General's Daughter with John Travolta.
Wow. Okay.
I never saw The General's Daughter, but my aunt did. Apparently, is very fucked up.
I think I remember it. And it was intense.
Wild Card with Jason Statham.
Oh no!
The Expendables 2.
What?
Really?
Yeah, Expendables 2 was dope. What are you talking about?
It's pretty good. I'm just
Jean-Claude Van Damme plays a villain named Villain.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, that one was there were too many jokes in that one.
No, it was
too
great.
many, like doing the Chuck Norris lines to Chuck Norris. couldn't handle it.
Oh, fair.
Those 1 and 3, I really liked.
Oh, okay.
That was 2.
Oh, okay. They all just kind of blur into one Expendable.
Those movies are so bad.
No, the first one was great. The first one was good. First one was.
They all just blur into one Expendable.
Yeah.
But and When a Stranger Calls, he directed the 2006 remake of When a Stranger Calls.
Okay,
gotcha.
So yeah, Tomb Raider's probably his other like biggest one, and Expendables 2 after
Right.
Con Air.
Wait, like
But
the first
yeah, it still
Tomb
very
Raider?
much felt like a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
And another great name for Nicolas Cage, Cameron Poe.
yeah.
Yeah.
His
good
characters
name.
have some pretty
Castor Troy, Cameron Poe,
pretty recognizable
Stanley
names.
Goodspeed.
Stanley
Goodspeed.
That was
Stanley. Now that's a good name.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
It's right in it.
It says right there.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to think of the other lines I had written down because there's so many quick. What did Malkovich say? The next wings you see will be the ones on the flies buzzing over your corpse.
Your rotting corpse.
Rotting
Yeah,
corpse.
your rotting
Like,
corpse.
Jeez.
Or then
man.
when the guy's like, sigh, and he just says Anara and sets him on fire. Like, that is the dumbest shit
Oh no!
ever.
Even your poster was like, that was so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Well, The Rock.
What a
Almost,
what a movie.
almost as Michael Bay as The Rock, which actually is Michael Bay.
Well, and
Right.
The Rock, man, holy shit! How like
that movie.
there are so many fucking explosions in that.
Yeah.
The logo
Yeah.
is literally an explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a movie that is really just supposed to, I mean, it is just, it's on an island.
Yeah,
It's on a rock.
Yep.
A lot of explosions.
yeah.
You wouldn't
Welcome to The Rock.
Yeah.
So many, that's great.
Yeah, you would think like being in the middle of a gunfight, using explosions and shit in one area of the prison, that anyone on that island would hear it. And like when it's just the two of them, and they're getting in like, and then they're like yelling at each other and shit, not trying to keep it down and get caught.
Yeah,
It's
right.
Like,
Totally just walk. Like I like the fact that Connery's being silent because he knows what's going on, and
Right.
Goodspeed's just fucking like yakking and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
and
Yeah,
then-
what does he say? A sniper's going to get hit.
Yeah. That's after they already had the
Right,
whole fucking
right.
sewer shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like 3/4 of the way into the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I love how their fucking tunnels and sewers or whatever the fuck have swinging fucking blades and fire, like fucking flamethrowers.
Dude, and even, I forgot that
It's
this movie
supposed
has
to be
a
a
full
boiler,
on.
apparently.
Right. I totally forgot that this movie had a full on Indiana Jones style, like minecart scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like,
That, that part blows my mind. Like the rest of tunnels and like the fucking boiler and the sewers and all that shit, I'm fine with. The mine cart being under Alcatraz is a fucking stretch.
Like, what? Yeah, it's not that big.
I immediately just thought Donkey Kong. I was like,
Yeah,
That's fucking sick.
Sean Connery's gonna get these bananas.
Gotta get them all.
Yeah.
Gotta get them all now.
I forgot
so good.
how, like, again, I miss R-rated. Like, I think that's why I love The Beekeeper and like the Jason Statham shit we're finally getting now. And but this one opens with them getting the VX gas or whatever, and they break one of the balls, and you see that dude fucking all pussy and spitting up blood and shit. I was like, oh man, that first death is so gruesome.
Yeah,
Like,
it's gnarly.
One of the most effectively fucked fates in a movie I've ever seen. Because like, you only have to see it once, and then the rest of the movie, you're like, I get it. I'm fucking terrible.
Yeah,
like
you're
every
like, I don't want
time the
that to happen
fucking
to
balls
anybody
show
else
up, you're
for
like,
good.
fuck this shit.
And he's just staring at him through the window.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Dude, that as a 11, this came out the year before the other one. So as an 11-year-old seeing that traumatized me.
Yeah.
I spent most of my childhood just having this irrational fear of VX gas.
Yeah.
this movie really, really made me want to be some fucking badass, like special ops fucking crazy. Like, oh my God, like I could totally do this. Just like the operation of it all, and just like the gear, fucking ropes and scaling buildings and shit.
Right.
Fucking awesome.
I also forgot Kyle Reese was in this.
Michael fucking Biehn.
Michael Biehn, yep.
So many movies, this motherfucker has died so goddamn early.
Oh yeah, he dies all the time.
I'm just happy that in Aliens, at least he survives most of the movie.
Right.
But man,
this one's got a crazy stacked cast. I mean, obviously Michael Biehn supremacy is anytime, but then we've got John C. McGinley, another Scrubs alum.
Scrubs.
Tony
Todd,
obviously,
R.I.P.
Just does not have big enough of a role in this movie.
No, not nearly as big enough.
But I love that he got all the way.
Soft shit.
But at least he went out in a really cool way.
Yeah,
he did go out in a very cool way. I do love that he and the other guy hadn't even met Ed Harris's character.
Yeah.
And they were willing to just sacrifice it all for this. And then Ed Harris was like, oh, actually, I wasn't planning on doing anything evil.
Yeah, I also love
I was
the
bluffing,
scene where
sorry.
Where they're just aggressively being like, we got 3 minutes.
Right.
You want us to get ready yet?
Yeah, I just want to let you know the time is, sir. But, his
Who
death
is
scene.
that guy? Is that guy fucking the guy with
he was
the insane fucking jawline?
Yes.
Yeah.
I kept thinking it was a super young version of, I can't remember his name, Justin, but the guy who's Robert Zadar. He's Robert Zadar's kid. But no, I kept thinking that he was the super young version of that guy who was in Boardwalk Empire, and he's been in fucking everything now. He's a
Gregory Sporletter.
That is
his name. Sorry,
that's definitely not who I thought it was. But
he's in Twister.
He was in Black Hawk Down.
That's where I remember
the Crazies.
Yeah,
he's in
Crazies.
That's right. He's one of the fucking rednecks.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the fucking 3 crazy redneck guys.
All right.
Okay. God, what a good fucking movie.
He's in Being John Malkovich.
Wow.
What?
Not in Con Air there, so it doesn't matter.
No. Candyman's death in The Rock is also falls down that same like path as like, oh, you think you got him, but no, here's even more killing. More death. It's not enough to get shot point blank with a fucking rocket. He's also got to be impaled by a fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
not the rocket.
I think it's because they
not the rockets. Not the rockets.
Put that down.
I think
let go.
I think that I love that he's like, hold on. The minute you don't respect this, it kills you. And then he's like,
well, it's the one moment where he's the expert, right?
Yeah,
so he's
the only moment in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also
just
like
walk away.
I also like that he's like, hold it, and then he's like, fuck you. You're not holding it right.
Yeah. It's like hold it, stop, no, hold it.
But also,
a couple times in that scene, Connery goes, really?
I think that the rocket scene, though, I think that they watched Death Wish 4 and saw the end of that and were like, well, we got to up that, so we got to impale him on a fucking fence, too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It works.
It does work. I'm just a fan of a point-blank rocket anytime.
Oh, yeah, it's not done enough.
No.
Why don't they disclose to Connery the rockets and the VX gas?
Because they're FBI
like he thinks
assholes.
he's just there to get the hostages out. He doesn't know that there's actually like rockets that could kill tens of thousands of people in San Francisco.
No, they don't tell him until fucking Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage tells him.
I guess he would try to just tell his daughter to get out, and it would fuck something. I don't know. But
I think it
just seemed dumb that he doesn't know.
I do think it's
because he doesn't want to keep going. Right? He's like, I'm out of here.
I think it's just. I don't think that there's any real like actual explanation for it, except for they're FBI assholes and it's classified. Womack.
I should have known it was you piece of shit.
Every time I watch it, I just walk around saying Womack for like 4 hours.
But So then why did he think that Nick Cage was along for the whole mission?
Well, he told him that he was combat trained. He didn't know he was a chemical weapons specialist. He thought he was just fucking.
I guess he never does
but he's obviously not a Navy SEAL.
Well, they say it in the in the interrogation room because he asks him. He's like, I'm an FBI agent. He's like, oh, so you're
a field agent,
right? Field agent. He's like, oh, so you're combat trained, or whatever. He's like, by the best, or like whatever the fuck he says. But he doesn't know. And to me, and I haven't seen this movie in years, and I didn't really remember that part, and that's why I was like, that's kind of dumb. Like, I feel like you'd tell him that. Like, that's more of a motive for him to fucking go and do the job.
That's why I think it really just comes down to the fact that the VX gas isn't. No one's supposed to know that it exists.
Yeah.
Because they did say at the beginning that the thermal plasma or whatever the fuck is like they were currently trying to like figure it out. So I think that, I mean, you know how the fucking US.
You don't have to disclose that. You can just say like they got rockets.
Say they have chemical weapons.
Chemical weapons,
and they're going to take out San
Francisco.
Your daughter.
Yeah.
Who you seem to care about is probably one of the people that will be at risk.
But I guess that's why you don't say it, because now he has a different motive than saving the whole city. Like, let me just go to my daughter and tell her to leave. And then she'll tell everybody, and now chaos.
Which, I mean, let me steal a fucking Humvee and wreck half of San Francisco just to have him.
He was only borrowing there.
I don't know if let is the right word. He did throw that guy over the building.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
I love how his daughter is unaware that like
that just happened.
Like the whole city just got destroyed, like billions of dollars probably in damage.
I also love that like they play it off like he's fucking sitting there, and then fucking Stanley gets there, and then all the cops show up, and Stanley's just like, well, I guess it's time to leave, huh? Like, bro.
But then all the cops in the background are literally still aiming their guns at him.
Also, I love that the cops in the background don't fucking run up to get him.
No,
yeah.
What do you say we cut the chit chat? My jaw hurts like hell.
Good.
I love the hairdresser when he's fucking in the hotel room. I just want to know if you like your haircut.
So good.
I don't know who did this to you. It's just downright nasty.
You know what? I do want to say it is a little weird to me. This is the first time I watched this and really like put it together that they just had him in a normal prison. I always thought that he was like black boxed or some shit, and like in super isolation shit. But no, he was just in Wolfenburg or whatever, and like he could read books and he gets like outside time and shit. Like he's totally fine. Like I always thought like.
Yeah, I always thought that he was like Hannibal Lecter level,
like really like black.
You're in
box.
a basement.
Yeah. You don't get to talk to anybody or read a book. You just go slowly insane.
Prison that Castor Troy would be in.
Exactly. The magnet prison. Yeah.
It's not a strong motive to tell the government where the microfilm is. Like, why would I tell you? Like, this is kind of comfy. Like,
right.
3 hots and a cot. Fuck it, I guess.
Yeah.
Isn't there some kind of internet conspiracy that this is a James Bond movie?
I've never.
Because, there could be now.
I like that.
Because like James Bond, I mean, he gets kidnapped.
that he's actually supposed to be James Bond.
I like that. I can't believe I've never connected those dots myself.
Yeah, because awesome. As a kid, I was like, oh yeah, Sean Connery. Like now he's like a spy and he's got to save the day with Nick Cage. Like that's so James Bond.
Here's the difference: is that he's way cooler in this than he ever was. James Bond. He actually does shit in this one. Yeah, I am vehemently against Sean Connery as James Bond. His movie really boring as fuck, bro. They're the worst ones. Roger Moore forever, baby.
Roger Moore was pretty
Sean Connery doesn't have a voodoo movie.
Yeah, but I mean,
he doesn't go to space either.
You're comparing like $5,000 budgets in the 60s compared to fucking 90s fucking John Woo shit that we just watched. Exactly, it's two very different styles.
I would actually like to go back and watch GoldenEye again. It's been ages.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
GoldenEye is rough.
Yeah. I'm sure that's Sean Bean, isn't it?
Yeah, he is in it. He is, yeah, 006.
Yeah, 006. Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, I think I'm
movies?
A lot.
Yeah,
so many.
I'm a Lazenby guy myself.
Get the fuck out.
No.
the one who only had one movie and it's widely considered to be the worst one. On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
That's the name of the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's a terrible James Bond name.
A terrible James Bond movie.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna in my head canon. He's totally James Bond.
It's an interesting.
I like
thing.
that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, it even makes sense with the age.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember watching this as a kid, thinking he was so much older.
I know.
He's 60. He's like
fucking 90.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what he says. Yeah,
it looks like he's like
60.
fucking 80.
I love when the cop says he's my age now, for Christ's sakes, and I'm like, now. That means he was your age always. He didn't catch up.
He's my age now. Well, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The same age.
Yeah, damn. Fuck.
He caught up, dude.
Oh man.
Well, that's what happens when you're in prison. You age twice.
Yeah,
as
you
fast.
age fast.
Right, yeah. He's my age now. I've been 65 for 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good little subtle lines in this movie because right after he says that, he's like, I wake up 3 times a night to take a piss.
Yeah, exactly. And he does a little quarter trick and scores the glass.
I was wondering if that works.
That was awesome.
I don't think it would because the hole he breaks in the glass is not even where he scored it. It's like
right, yeah.
Yo, bash. Losers whine about their bash. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Carla was the prom queen. Really?
Really?
He's like impressed. Like,
but I love that there's no follow up either. He's just really?
Yeah.
I see.
Okay. 90s. I'm telling you, I think we peaked as an entire society in about 97 to 99.
You're not wrong. Because I mean, it's 5 years later is YouTube, Facebook,
MySpace.
Even, MySpace 2-3 years later was MySpace. Well, it was cool.
MySpace was fine. MySpace is not.
Yeah, it was the domino. Though.
Yeah.
It's like you know what I mean. It was part of it. But yeah,
that's insane that social media peaked with the first one that really blew up.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Tom sold it, dude. Peaced out.
Yeah.
Got his 500 million. Dude, he's still around. You can follow him on like Instagram and shit. Yeah, dude, that guy is fucking awesome because he's like fuck Zuckerberg and fuck Musk and all those fucking guys. Like, can you imagine like being in that position? I think it was Fox Corp that bought MySpace for 500 million. He's like, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Like, and dips the fuck out.
Yeah.
He didn't
Go ahead
need
and
to
ruin
fucking
it, homies.
Yeah. He didn't need to make $200 billion. He was like, yeah, I'll take that. Like, I'm good.
Took it and then
generations
retired,
are set. Like,
It's like the dude who I remember when everyone was pissed off about the guy who sold Wordle. They're like, oh, he sold out. He sold to the New York Times. I was like, what the fuck would you do if you came up with like a fun puzzle game and somebody was like, hey, we'll give you a fuck ton of money for this, and you'd be like, yeah, I could actually use, especially nowadays, like I could use money.
Do shit anymore.
Yeah.
It's to build it up and sell it.
Yeah. That's the point.
Yeah.
Tom taught us.
That's why we're doing
to
this
use
podcast,
HTML
so we can build it
everything.
up and then sell it and have 4 random assholes come do it.
Yeah.
They're all still gonna say that they're us, but It's all fucking. It's just 4 Austin Butlers in here, and you'll be like, "Oh, these guys are way too pretty now."
Yeah, you're like, I don't believe these
but
guys.
the viewership would go through the roof. 4 Austin Butlers,
right?
Dude, I'm gonna.
It's my favorite podcast. I watch it on mute and I put on music, but I just
somehow candles get lit.
I listen to this. I watch this podcast, but I listen to another one at the same time.
Right.
Just to bring it back to The Rock real quick, because I feel like we really need to mention Ed Harris. We haven't.
Oh my God! Yes.
Oh, of course.
He's fucking awesome.
Honestly,
great.
He's the best part of the movie. Like
he's so good.
He's so good.
So like he sells.
Now you're being told by a man with a gun.
Yeah, dude, that line, warming up.
Right?
Yeah.
Which his entire setup is he goes out of his way to make sure that nobody dies.
Yeah, that whole first scene.
Yeah, the whole thing.
So,
it's like, why did you guys think he was actually gonna bomb anybody?
Right.
Like he just went he was very particular about no casualties here.
Yeah.
Did you think his threats were legitimate at all?
One of my notes is I love. I was writing this out and I was like, I love that. He doesn't really kill anybody in the first part. He just tranks everybody. And then as I was writing, I was like, but he's also taking chemical weapons to kill an entire city.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, like, why would you think that he's going to fucking kill everybody if he didn't kill all the guards?
Yeah. He's got to show that he's being serious. I have it written down that we just forget about him for a minute because here's Ed Harris. Here's his plot. He took over. And then there's a massive chunk where we are just hanging out with Nick Cage and Sean Connery to the point where I'm watching it at home and I'm loving this movie, and then it cuts back to Ed Harris and I was like, oh fuck, right, there's something happening on Alcatraz. Yeah. What have they been doing? Just walking around, chatting? Like,
yeah. I love the exchange between Goodspeed and Mason when they're at the first rocket. And one of the Marines is dead under that giant fucking thing that fell on him.
Foot.
He's like, you've been around a lot of corpses. Is that normal? What?
I like that he doesn't look when he points too.
Well, that's the most awful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Can you do something about it? Like what? Kill him again?
I did kind of want Sean Connery to just sarcastically go over and put his foot on the foot so it stops.
Right. I was waiting for him to shoot him again.
Yeah.
Like
just shoots him in the leg so it moves more.
In my head canon, I thought that's what he did, and then when he didn't do it, I was like, oh, I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
He just puts a couple rounds into the fucking AC unit.
Right. I also forgot that his second in command is Mr. Turner from Disturbia.
That's who the fuck he was. Yes.
Yeah, he's
him and
he's
Cole
everywhere.
Meany. I kind of get mixed up a little bit.
Right.
But not this time. I knew he wasn't Cole Meany because I just watched Con Air.
Right.
But his character's great at the end in that gunfight when he fucking backs up Ed Harris.
The gunfights in this are insane. Although it's funny because I just watched it this morning and I was like, man, that fucking that bathroom gunfight is so intense until you're paying attention to it and nothing actually, no one's getting shot. It's just quick shots and flashes of shit. No squibs, no nothing. It's just
Dude, the build up though of them talking and then it just starts picking up speed and then it just fucking explodes.
Dude,
it's so intense.
Michael Biehn versus Bane, whatever, is against Ed Harris is so it's insane, dude. That
I will not give that order.
Dude, they're just screaming at each other.
That is such a good.
I love Tony Todd in that. And I mentioned, I don't remember if we were recording when I mentioned this to you guys, but I still do it to this day, and I've done it for years. Like anytime someone owes me money on Venmo or something, I always find, and it's on YouTube, there's like a 3-second clip of Tony Todd screaming, "I want my fucking money!" And I'll always send that with a Venmo request. It's the best. There is no fucking money. I love his response is so fucking like quiet to that crazy scream.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, so there was no money. So what the fuck were they gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, we bluffed. They called it. We're done.
Yeah. Oh.
We didn't realize that was an option for how this was going to play out. Sorry.
How'd they get to Alcatraz in the first place?
They were on a tour.
Yeah, they were on a tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, remember he like bit down, which is the other
part of them were on a tour.
Well, yeah, because he tells the kids to go back to their teacher and tell them that they got to leave and stuff. So good guy Ed Harris. But
wait, did the other guys fly in helicopters?
I didn't see a helicopter
because the Tony Todd and the other dude.
I think didn't they show up on a boat?
Maybe a boat. Maybe that's what it was.
A boat. I think it was a boat.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, if there's no money, how do you get away?
Yeah. On Alcatraz.
Honestly, if there was money, how do you get away?
Yeah, how do you get away? Like everybody, all eyes are on Alcatraz
jump in the
right
boat,
now, bro.
You're gonna jump in the boat and drive through the San Francisco. This boat just tooting through the fucking San Francisco Bay.
I think they mentioned it though. They mentioned it. Didn't they say there was? I think they mentioned, or was it part of their negotiation? I think they had that covered. I don't know if it was going to be copters or if it was going to be a plane or something like that. But they had it covered.
It is always funny to me when there's like in a movie where they're like, "Oh, we've got these hostages. You're going to bring me this much money, and then you're going to bring me a vehicle, and you're going to let me go." And I'm like,
"Yeah,
right." As fucking Marines, I'm pretty sure that like they'd be like, "We should probably cover our own escape because they're not going to give us anything."
But this is the 90s, and everything was a heist in the 90s, and none of them succeeded.
Right, but the Marines, I'm saying, like, you would think that they'd be like, we can't make getting our escape plan through them. They're not going to give us our escape plan. No. We need to have that shit covered.
Well, I think his whole goal was, or his whole
he's going to get the money and then pay for a cab.
It was that the government was going to come around and recognize the error of the ways.
Well, that
I think it was more about sending a message. It was like the principle of the thing.
You said they were all going to go to countries that don't I'm blanking on the term,
extradite,
but wouldn't. Yeah.
Are you sure that was The Rock? Because they also said that in Con Air too.
They said that in The Rock as well. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
I didn't rewatch.
Yeah, there's just not as many.
I forgot about the difference. But I remember.
The difference in The Rock is that there's no naked freaks.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
and I'm realizing that I learned so many concepts in the 90s growing up.
Naked
through movies,
freaks,
like what extradition was.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Most of my knowledge of extradition comes from
movies,
from fucking Lethal Weapon 2. No extradition.
Yeah.
Political immunity.
So good.
Oof.
Yeah.
I love the I don't know, I always misremember it because I also hadn't watched The Rock in years. And I like vividly remember him also hilarious that the ball falls off and he picks it up and gently puts it in his pocket. And then gets into a very aggressive fist fight with a guy who can tumble through windows and shit.
Thought about that.
And it's fine.
No, not even a fucking hint of fucking getting fucked up.
Yeah. But the when he stuffs it in the dude's mouth, like that whole sequence.
So awesome.
But I always forget that it's the random, like, crazy dude. I can't remember which actor it is. And for some reason, as a kid, I thought it was Ed Harris. And then I started watching the movie again. I was like, no, Ed Harris isn't genuinely a bad guy. Like they don't actually fight it out at the end. I was like, who does he end up doing this to? Because it's when he did it in the theater, I remember being like 10 years old watching it going, oh fuck. Like not just in the room with the gas. That dude is swallowing glass with it right now. Like holy shit.
Such a good moment because the whole movie they've built, like from the fucking beginning, they've built up how fucked this gas is or how fucked this VX shit is.
And they reminded you that someone's going to stab themselves in the heart with a giant fucking needle at some point.
That scene's brutal. Just the way he reacts to it.
But
I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'd be the guy at the beginning.
right.
You want me to stab this in my fucking heart? Are you crazy?
I love at the end. He's like, I almost fucking did it.
Yeah.
I love one of the bloopers or whatever I read was like factual error. No anti like chemical thing that injecting it into your heart would not stop it from melting your skin.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a peanut allergy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're not going to convulse to death, but you will have your suit fused to you.
To your skin.
Yeah.
You'll become one with it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, Agent Orange, fucking play on EpiPen.
That'll take care of the cancer.
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
Man.
This will turn me into Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah, there was a few lines that I didn't remember because I mean most of this movie I fucking like 95% of it I could just recall it for the last fucking 3 decades. But there were some, especially in the beginning, the exchanges with him and his girlfriend. But I had me dying laughing. But I did not remember. It was so good when she tells him that she's pregnant, and right after he's like, "I don't, want to bring a kid into this world or whatever." And he's like, "Well, I meant it at the time." Stanley, at the time, you said it 7.5 seconds ago. Oh gosh, kind of a lot's happened since then.
It's 7.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Very precise.
Derek, can I get a pigtails from you?
Naughty. Oh, dude. Nick Cage is the man.
I also love...
I was really thinking about the fact of like, it has to be really fun / funny to do a sex scene with Nick Cage because he's never done an actual like sexy.
The mental images in my head now.
But that's the thing is like you would think it'd be fucked up, but it's always like really weird and goofy. It's never sexy.
Yeah.
So like I'm assuming like for the chick, it's usually probably like, it's fine. It's not bad at all. Naughty. Like,
what are you guys quoting?
It's when
it's the beginning of the movie when they're having sex and she has pigtails and she's like she says something like she's like, "You like my pigtails?" He goes, "Oh yeah, pigtails, naughty."
It's right as they call him that he has to go in.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
God. What a
very
weird.
fun.
Yeah, I think Con Air is the only movie that Nick Cage has done where there's no Nick Cages.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, there's still some because he's Nick Cage, but like put the bunny back in the box is closed.
Yeah, but that's not him being
Nick
that
Cage.
version of Nick Cage.
Yeah, this is the one where he acts the most normal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's
very true.
That's
he does get some solid laughs in Con Air though when he's talking. What is it when he looks over or they pan over and you see Steve Buscemi's now out of his cage and he's just like, "Hi, Garland."
You know what I think it is? I think that there's not as much weird Nick Cage because the whole movie is weird Nick Cage because he's pretending to be Southern.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
True. Yeah.
And it is not a good Southern.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
They're like, "Give us this. We don't need you to work too hard on anything else. Just focus on this as best you can."
Yeah.
Did you guys
You
notice?
you want me to
as
go
we
to a
jump
voice
around,
coach or something? No, Nick. No, you're fine.
Did you guys notice it was Joe Bob working in the prison in Face Off?
Yes.
I didn't know that until watching it today. And I immediately was like, "Oh my God. That's that's Joe Bob." And I was trying to find Joe Bob. You could search for cast actors in Letterboxd, and he's not on there. I was like,
"Is it under his real name?"
I don't know his real name. What's his real name?
John Bloom. That's how he's credited in Face Off. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it must be that then. I kept looking up Joe Bob.
Yeah.
So that would explain it.
Yeah, I forgot he was in it because I obviously when I saw Face Off as a kid, I may have known who he was at the time because Monster Vision was around the same time.
For sure.
Dude, he's in Casino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't remember that was him because I probably didn't notice when I was a kid because he's only on screen for like 2 seconds and I hadn't zeroed in on it. But yeah, watching it today, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I had no idea and I noticed it first time today. Dude, Casino, what a fucking movie, huh?
Yeah. I need to watch it again. I've been meaning to for a while.
It's just like already got like 10 episodes planned for after this, but eventually we'll do a Scorsese one because
we could do a 2-part Casino. Just watch the first half and then
just do a bunch of De Niro movies.
Yeah, I mean, if
we could.
At this point, we've officially taken a right turn out of fucking horror movies, so now anything's possible. Y'all motherfuckers don't know what's gonna happen.
Taxi Driver, and then we'll just do like Meet the Fockers.
Yeah.
There's definitely horror elements to these three though, because we've got Con Air's got some probably Con Air's probably the least horror of them, but Face Off's got the body horror like of the. I love that their faces just pop off.
Yeah, I love.
It's just
I don't think
slice around here and then boop, and I'm like oh yeah, our lips aren't attached to our skulls or anything. Like
yeah.
I just love how it's like
mask.
What?
Didn't they say like the mask like contoured the face?
Yeah, there was a whole thing. And so, are they? Because that part really got me. Because I was like, wait, so they hold up this fucking plastic face, see-through face mold that has prosthetics glued to it, and they're like, we put, and I didn't catch whether they meant the whole fucking plastic thing under your face.
Yeah.
Or if it was like a thing that you take off of the plastic thing and then put on. Like,
yeah, that's my assumption.
That was my assumption too. But then also later on, it feels like, I don't know, maybe they were insinuating that you put this is the thing that you put on.
That's what I caught that this time too. And I was like, that first off, this movie doesn't.
No.
That can't happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they straight up say that like the removed face, you automatically reattach all the fucking nerve endings and all that.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, come on.
Like, okay, I understand the concept of taking my skin off and giving me a haircut.
Face.
And
yes.
We don't even really need to say anything after that.
Yeah. But it's just there's a lot of work. Like we get the face, get a haircut, we're gonna change teeth and eyes. Apparently,
they just laser
cut his hair.
Yeah, they laser cut his hair, and that's fine. They give him a haircut, but then the only other thing that they do, I love how they gloss over the physical bodily change by just saying, yeah, we'll just get rid of those love handles.
Yeah.
Get rid of those love handles, micro plugs to the hair.
That's not enough.
My favorite part is when they go, you have 2 different blood types, but nobody will notice that. And I go, they might. When their body rejects the face.
Right.
Gonna be an issue.
That's kind of a problem.
None of this is how medicine works. And he had all of this shit done. Facial reconstructive surgery, vocal reconstructive, whatever the fuck, laser haircut. They fucking did whatever the fuck to his body, and he healed and was able to go to prison in less than 10 days. Because the whole fucking movie takes 10 days.
Yeah. That I wonder if anybody's ever tried to do that.
They died, that's for
swap
sure.
Faces?
Like swap faces or take somebody else's face or
there's been a face transplant.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're talking. So what?
It was some guy.
How do you transplant a face?
I mean, you just watched the movie,
we just
man.
watched.
Yeah. This was a documentary.
Yeah, bro.
God damn it.
Yeah.
No, somebody. I think it was like an animal attack or a car accident or something. Like their face was pretty mangled, but they survived, and they were able to get a donation face from like an organ donor. I can't remember exactly how it all played out, but.
Gotcha.
They didn't look like Nicolas Cage afterwards. Like, obviously.
Wow, really?
But it was...
Dude, what happens if... This is so stupid. I can't believe I'm about to fucking say
I'm
this.
so excited.
But, like, what happens if they actually did the surgery and this whole time, John Travolta, ever since Face Off, is Nick Cage? And Nick Cage is John Travolta.
that might explain shit. That might explain some of Nicolas Cage's movie choices since then.
Yeah, it's exactly like the fact that Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder are actually married from filming Dracula. It's the same kind of thing. They actually switched faces, and now they're just out there living life.
Well, those crazy ass actors when there's like fight scenes, like, no, I want you to really hit me. It's like a version of that. It's just
Travolta's like, no, I want you to really change my face.
Yeah. And then Nick Cage went off to do Capital One commercials as Santa, and John Travolta was like, no, I'm still an actor. Damn it, I'm gonna make actual movies for as long as I can.
Yeah. I think it's so funny. I think that explains so much.
The one thing that I really was focused in on Face Off was that the role of Castor Troy, the role of Travolta as Castor Troy, I don't think that he does a good job in this. I think that the character that he plays in From Paris with Love would have been a better version of Castor Troy as John Travolta.
Oh yeah,
because like he's too.
Have you guys ever seen that movie?
No,
it's good.
Oh man,
it's actually
so
pretty fucking good. It's
really good.
Yeah, it's a very good like European espionage. Like
Travolta crushes
Travolta.
In that movie.
It's honestly, like, I don't like Travolta because I think he's kind of a fucking psycho.
That's what that movie's called?
From Paris with
Love.
Yeah, I remember the brief period of time when John Travolta looked like this.
Yeah.
I thought the movie had a completely different name because he also looked. Wasn't he in the Pelham 1-2-3 remake with that same look?
Yes.
It
works so much better in From Paris with Love.
And he was also in something else recently that they offered to send me a screener for it, and they were like, if you want to watch this and review it, and I was like, I'm going to be honest, this is not going to be a good movie. You're not going to want my honest review. And I don't have time to watch it, but thank you anyway. And then the movie came out, and sure enough, everyone was like, this is bad. But
I don't even know what movie he was in recently.
It was called, I want to say Cash Out or something, where he's like a mob boss or something that goes back for one last job. And it's got
Travolta.
Yeah, and it's got Quavo in it, the rapper.
Movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
He also did that. Yeah, Cash Out. Professional thief Mason attempts his biggest heist with his brother, robbing a bank, and when it goes wrong, they're trapped inside, surrounded by law enforcement, and tensions rise as he negotiates with his ex-lover, the lead negotiator.
Ooh.
Played by
you kind of had
Kristen
me, and then that
Davis.
last part really fell apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't look like a great movie, but it's on Hulu if you want to watch it.
I'll watch The Rock again.
Yeah. I could watch The Rock again.
Movie.
I think that's my favorite of these. That's my favorite of these three. Is The Rock.
I gotta go Con Air.
I gotta go Con Air.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I think it's
because it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they're all awesome. They're all awesome. But there's something about Con Air that, like, it's also the fucking music, like the wailing guitar, the epic guitar like score, and all of those fucking
just throughout the whole movie.
Just throughout the whole movie.
Just some guy just fucking
noodling, buddy.
Just
shredding, dude.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so epic. But yeah, there's something I don't know. There's something. It's less serious than The Rock. Although I love The Rock.
Yeah.
And speaking about John Woo and his fucking birds, there's that.
That's why you hate Face
signature. Yeah, those fucking birds. There's that Michael Bay shot that he's always got to get, where it's like, where it's angled from the bottom or from really low up.
Oh yeah.
And then like he slowly comes around, like look this way. And then there's the other one shot. Where and then and this was. I don't remember. I know that I can see the one in my head when they did it in Bad Boys 2, but I don't remember which. I don't remember it in Bad Boys 1.
No, I don't think it is in the first one. I think it's only in the second one.
I think he made it in The Rock. I wonder if he made it in The Rock. Yeah. because he does it all the time now.
Yeah, he does it all the time now.
Yeah,
The Rock's one of the best ones though, because it's when the guy goes, "You just fucked up your Ferrari,"
right.
and then it does this swoop around Nicolas Cage. It's not mine.
Yeah. This is not the moment for this.
Neither's this.
Neither is this.
I just stole some kid's motorcycle. I'm not feeling too good about it. I forget the guy's name in The Rock. You just made me think of this scene. It's not the same at all, but one of the detectives that he's talking to, one of the FBI agents, where he's like, "There's a problem, sir. He's got a gun."
Yeah.
And then it cuts to him, and you just see he's like, "What do you got? A fucking water pistol?" Just like, quick turn into the camera. Like, why did he do that? They're not in the same room. Why did he turn into the camera?
Isn't it Tom Towles from or Tom Towles? Tom Towles?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he's from House of Corpses or Devil's Rejects. One of them.
Oh, fuck! You're right.
Yeah.
Devil's Rejects. Holy shit!
Yeah.
No, it's William Forsythe.
William Forsythe. They're kind of interchangeable.
Yeah.
Whoa, I forgot.
Right.
Yeah, that is him.
Yeah.
Dude, he's in Dick Tracy. Remember that movie?
He is in Dick. I was going to say, I met him at a convention last year, and I was very excited to meet him because I am a diehard Dick Tracy fan.
What?
So,
Wow.
I was obsessed with Dick Tracy as a kid.
Yeah, same.
Dick Tracy tattooed on my arm.
Oh shit!
That's
sick. I was obsessed with Dick Tracy and always wanted to fucking watch. Now that we have Apple Watches, I hate them.
Yeah.
You can get a replica Dick Tracy watch that takes a SIM card now on eBay. I think it looks very similar to his.
Whoa!
But having been around people who always take calls on speakerphone, I'm like, I would be fucking insufferable with that thing.
Dude,
I don't want to do that.
Fucking worse.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was looking at my scores. I think Face Off is technically my favorite of these three, but I don't know. They're all, it's like a 3-way tie. I was in fucking heaven this weekend rewatching all three of these, man.
Yeah.
They really, especially with the current climate of everything fucking on fire, this was really nice and nostalgic. Great. Even though the funny thing is I'm pretty certain I watched all of these movies, maybe not Con Air, but definitely Face Off and The Rock. I watched these in jail. So my nostalgia at this point in 2025 is like, man, it was so much better when I was in juvenile detention. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, probably not a good sign.
Yeah, no.
Like, I had to disconnect from the news for a bit and remember the easier times when I was locked up. Yeah, the good old days, exactly.
Oh, don't worry, I had to actively stop myself from doom scrolling every 5 minutes. Like, put the phone down. You have to watch the movies.
Right. Yeah.
You have to watch Nick Cage.
Yeah, there's something. There's so many action movies from that era and since then and before then, but for some reason, those three, they fill a void that no other action movies do.
Yeah.
And again, it's because of Nick Cage and the wackiness of him. But it's also just because they're good movies.
They're great, except for Face Off. They're good movies.
Yes, but still enjoyable.
It's not a complaint. It's just an observation.
Yeah. I feel like I could watch any of those. I mean, like again, like right now, and I'd be totally fine.
Yeah, I just watched Face Off and Con Air last week and was like, "Fuck yes, let's watch them again."
Yeah.
I think The Rock of the three is the one that's got some actual like good acting in it. Like even Nicolas Cage is very like, he's dialed in on that. He's actually
for sure.
He's not as unhinged, even though there's some
there's some moments.
It's
but
mainly
Sean Connery's
it's not
awesome
so much that he's unhinged. It's just that some of his deliveries on lines are like, what the fuck? No one. And I love that no one is like, oh, hold on, let's take that again. That is the take that again.
But he's genuinely funny in The Rock. Like, how in the name of Zeus's butthole did you get out of yourself?
I think that was one of my notes.
Tools of the trade, my brother. Tools of the trade, my son.
Yeah, he's doing like the silly Rube Goldberg shit in his office, setting fires.
I'm
just fucking around with a fire extinguisher in a closed office. But I vividly remember when he gets the Beatles vinyl delivered, and the guy's like, "Why don't you just buy the CD?" And he's like, "Because I'm a Beatle maniac, and these sound better." And for some reason, that stuck out in my head, where I was like, "Vinyl sounds better."
Yes, 100%.
I just thought it was like a one-off, like, this is the quirky dude who thinks vinyl sounds better. And then I got older and I was like, it fucking does.
It does.
I kind of wonder if, because this is the first time that, that I'm aware of, that was ever like said in like a piece of pop culture. And I kind of wonder how many people, it is true, but I wonder how many people watch this and then just took that like as just fact. And we're like, fuck it, we're going to run with it.
Because you watch it as a kid and you're 10. Like, music just sounds like music. How can it sound better on vinyl than the CD? Yeah, right. Greater tech. He's got to be joking, right? No.
This is how we learned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun. Man.
What are the scores?
Mason, you all right? Yes, perfectly okay, you fucking idiot. So The Rock,
he's dead, sir. Vaporized.
I'm actually surprised by these. When I was looking at these, I couldn't believe. So the highest rated one, I'll start with that, and it's significantly higher than the other two.
Let's
guess. I might already know what it is.
Let's try to guess. Tell us the 3 scores, and let's try to figure out which one is which.
Ooh. Oh, this is fun.
That's good.
Okay. Let me mix it up here. I'll shuffle it up.
Just do Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just do Rotten Tomatoes here. All right. 58% tomato meter, 75% audience score.
Okay.
Sure, you want me to read the rest?
Yeah, read all three.
67% tomato meter, 85% audience score. And then 93% tomato meter, 82% audience score.
Wow.
Okay. That's got to be Con Air.
Yeah. The last one.
No.
I is that Face Off?
Yes. Yeah.
What?
93% tomato meter, 82%.
Lowest?
No, I bet I bet Con Air's the lowest.
Con Air's the lowest.
Off!
Because The Rock's in the Criterion Collection.
What?
It is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but that's awesome.
What?
Yeah.
But The Rock is 67% tomato.
Yeah, Rock seems low. They both seem low. We just watched Face Off today. Like, I turned it off 20 minutes before we started recording. And as the credits start rolling and I exit out to rate it, I had to rent it on Fandango at home, and it puts the Rotten Tomatoes score under the title. And so I'm rating it, and Kimmy comes out from the bedroom and she's like, Face Off has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I was like, yeah, it's low, right? Yeah. And she just looks at me like I'm crazy. Right? And I was like, this is a fucking masterpiece. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Dude, it was great. I was, when I was watching this, so look, I love my wife. I love Katie. All right. I love her so much.
It's always a great way to start a sentence.
Love it when you got a preface with that.
Yeah. Okay. When it comes to especially 90s, right? When we were kids, she wasn't watching movies like we were. You know what I mean? Like, she just wasn't.
She was busy having a life.
Yeah. Right. And she's like, what are you watching? It's like Face Off. And she thought it was a hockey movie when I said that.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Which is why there's a slash in the title. It's because they were worried that people would think it's a hockey movie, so they thought putting that in there would be like, no, it's about something else.
Gotta make the spin-off Goon Off.
But she caught like
the
10 minutes
parody, actually.
Right. Yeah. She caught like 10 minutes. She's like, what is this? And like, I paused it. I'm like, hold on, all right, let me catch it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me explain it.
So like, I explained the movie. I'm like, you don't know this movie? She's like, no. I'm like, are you serious? Like, you don't know this movie? So I explained it to her, and I give her the entire synopsis within like 2 minutes, which is hard to do.
It's impressive. That's
so
impressive
much
on its own.
Yeah.
And she just and she didn't say a word until I was done. She's like, that's fucking stupid. Like, what a dumb movie. I was like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just wrong. It's the body swap movie. There's so many different versions of a body swap comedy, and they were like, what if we did tried to make it a more realistic action thriller version with the two hottest actors in Hollywood right now? Yeah,
it's Freaky Friday for dudes.
It is. It's Freaky Friday for dudes.
Exactly it. That's perfect.
And there's also magnetic robot floors.
Yeah.
Did you explain that part to her? That might have sold her.
Nope.
Fuck.
He's got to show her the scene where Nicolas Cage is like trying to get into Nicolas Cage mode. He's like, I'm Castor Troy.
I like that he just does that in the mid, like just in a convention center while the fucking choir is going like, dressed as a priest. Funny. No one's like, sir, could you not interrupt the choir, please? Could you not grope the ladies? Jesus fucking Christ.
Does everybody in here really think this guy's a priest? He's like America's most wanted, probably.
Yeah, that's a good point. Wouldn't his face be everywhere? Like
one would think.
No, that's why he shaved the mustache.
That makes sense.
Or is that why he had the mustache?
There it is.
Think about that.
Yeah. Also fair. Yeah.
Also, what no one's talking about is that fucking Josh had the same mustache for Hawaii. Who did you shoot?
What no one's talking about.
It's a good
Josh
point.
Josh had mustache in Hawaii. Who'd you kill?
I can't disclose. When is this going to air?
John Travolta's
I think you're good. It'll probably air outside of the.
Don't say that. Don't say that. This kid actually died.
Oh,
fuck! Really?
Wait, that's right. Yes. Oh
that's
my
why
god.
I said that fucking joke I made earlier was in poor taste.
Okay, I didn't know that. Dre, cut that out, dude.
This is the whole episode.
We edit it out, and then that'll be one of the comments. Be like, I can't believe none of you joked about the fact that this actually happened to John Travolta. And be like, no,
brutal.
John Travolta was actually shot through the chest by a sniper that killed his kid. Can you guys? Can't believe you guys didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
So on Letterboxd, because we just did the Rotten Tomatoes, right?
Our very successful game show portion of the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
On Letterboxd, The Rock is in the lead.
Okay.
Barely. The Rock has a 3.6. Face Off has a 3.5. And Con Air has a 3.4. So it's very close.
4, 5, and 6.
Justin, I think it's time to admit that we just have better taste in movies than literally everyone.
I mean, I can't believe on both platforms Con Air is last.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that is strange.
Now I understand The Rock being above Con Air in terms of like overall movie making, because there's more story and all kinds of stuff.
There's more story on Con Air.
What's the criteria? Making a movie?
Yeah, there's more. It's
writing,
more serious.
It had editing. It had casting. It had producing for sure.
It had music.
Oh, yeah, they produced the hell out of this.
But it's a more serious. It's more dramatic. It's a more serious tone. It's less silly and goofy. But Con Air not beating out Face Off.
I think
people like
weird.
Face Off, but I think the reason why is because Face Off is Face Off. It's like, oh yeah, that's the movie where they change face.
Yeah, it's like a meme.
I think that's the thing.
Exactly.
Is Con Air is just a good movie where it kind of falls under the wheels of Face Off being a fucking meme. Because, like, I don't know how many
Con Air
people...
kind of is a meme too, though.
Is
kind
it?
of, but
the
I
whole
don't,
Southern accent.
You don't
I would
quote.
think so.
I haven't heard people quote Con Air the way you've heard people quote Face Off.
The
really?
The memification of Con Air.
Maybe it's just me. I quote the fuck out of
right.
Con Air.
But you
I will now
quote the
because
fuck
I
out of
just
any
rewatched
movie
it for
you
the first time in
watch.
years. But
but the memification of Con Air is definitely more so the shots of fucking Nicolas Cage looking majestic as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious how many logs of each movie. So on Letterboxd, Con Air's got 270. Well, Con Air's got 275,000 people who have logged it.
Okay.
And then, so 275,000.
That's crazy.
And then Face Off has 405,000.
Ooh.
And then The Rock has 232,000. So The Rock is certainly a much
so The
more
Rock has a
viewed
higher
movie.
score, but due to less logs.
Yeah, it's got less. I mean, I don't know if it's due to that. Yeah. It's just got more.
Well, no, I just mean like the score is from less people, so the aggregation of it.
Yeah,
is more impactful.
Still a massive sample size.
Oh yeah,
though.
for sure. But I mean, the other one had double it, so that's what I'm saying. Is the other one had double it, but was still lower.
Right.
So more people have highly rated The Rock.
Right.
Crazy. I'm just man. I'm just ride or die Con Air. I can't help it.
Yeah.
No, it's fair.
Yeah, totally.
I fucking loved it, and now I got to watch that. The fact that I don't own any of these is what's frustrating to me because they were both streaming, so I was like, I'll just watch them on Hulu while I've got it here.
Right.
But then I went to go watch Face Off today, and it's not streaming anymore. Whatever it was on when we decided to do this episode,
Pluto?
It left a couple days ago. It's only on Pluto TV now, which I don't want to watch those fucking ads. Oh, so I was like, all right, I'm going to pay the $3 to rent it. But I was like, wait, no, let me check my massive physical media collection. I have to own Face Off, and I don't. And it's very upsetting.
I have to imagine it's probably the most printed VHS movie ever. Like that had to, because that's right at the pinnacle, like right at the end of VHS. And that's why in the 90s, I mean, you could use VHS tapes.
Oh, yeah, and I still vividly remember like the spine of the VHS tape with the faces.
Yeah.
I was also
that's
looking.
Right. Yeah, because it had one on each spine. Oh, it's so good.
I didn't realize Broken Arrow was also directed by John Woo.
Oh.
But that's the John Travolta Christian Slater one. That one only has 62,000 logs.
It's honestly, I watched that one in jail too. That one was sick.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, but it's a 2.9 on Letterboxd. It is worse than these three, and I will.
It is worse than these three.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really hard to have an entire movie in a B-52 bomber.
Yeah, fair.
That's right.
I was just trying to remember.
There's also a train, I think.
Yeah, there is a pretty good train sequence. I think yes, because Howie Long gets kicked off the train, and we get a Wilhelm scream.
That's right. Fuck, there was a Wilhelm in one of these, and I can't remember which one it was.
No, it wasn't the Wilhelm. It was the monster scream in Face Off when the fucking guard got shot off the walkway.
Yeah, totally. What's the movie you've logged?
Even heard him.
What's the movie you've logged on Letterboxd that has the least amount of views, and how many views does that have?
Fuck, I don't
know. How do I even find that? Don't you have to pay for that?
Go to your films.
You have to pay for that?
No. Just go to your profile. Click on films.
I don't have the pro or patron or whatever.
Go to your profile.
Go to my ratings.
Go to just films. And then at the top right, you got
maybe cut this part out.
Toggles.
Okay.
And then
sort by.
Sort by film popularity. And then just scroll all the way to the bottom.